Hi and welcome to Bitches of Horror.
Yes, another very special Skype review during these hard times. But today we're going to review Violet, which is a film from this year, 2020, and it's from the US. It's written and directed by Samuel Vainisi. It's starring Alice Winkler, Jason Crow, Amber Burns, and Brian Papandrea.
Yes, and Violet is about a girl named Violet who goes for an audition, and yeah, some bad things happen, and she tries to figure out who they are and why this happened, and yeah, it's a bit of a revenge story.
Yes, and like right off the bat, I got a feeling when she was walking home after this horrible thing had happened. It kind of reminded me of my own film, Sariyad, because that's also how it begins.
Mm.
Even though it's quite different in how it's shot and everything, but the feeling and yeah, it's quite the same. So that was a really nice touch, even though it wasn't intentional, but it was nice.
Yeah. I think one of the things that I noticed off the bat, one of the first things that I was like, "Oh, this is really good," was the color grading. I think that they really got the sort of tone, like in the different settings. So like in one setting it was very cold, in another setting it was very warm and stuff. So I think that they got the color grading very, very good.
Yeah, I think so too. Like especially during like some of the warmer scenes when they were out by the lake, it was very beautifully shot and graded.
Mm.
I think, and it added a lot to the atmosphere and the
Yeah,
mood of the film. Definitely.
yeah. I thought Violet, per se, by who was portrayed by Alice Winkler, was really good. I think she was very solid, and she had a various range of emotions, and I think she did them all very well.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
did. She was very good. Yeah, I agree. I mean, she had to portray some very intense and hard emotions, and I think she nailed them all, actually.
yeah.
I also
Um,
think that the relationship between her and Josh, who's played by Jason Crow, was very beautiful, and they had good chemistry, and I felt like happy watching them. Like
yeah,
it felt a bit cheesy, but I think it works. It felt like we discussed this before, and you said like a high school kind of thing.
yeah. Like it was a bit like cheesy, but you still kind of felt for them. So in the beginning, you're like, "Oh man, it's very cheesy." Like, ugh. But as the relationship progressed, it was like, "Oh, it's cheesy, but I'm really into it." Like I really like their chemistry. Like it's very it turned from like cheesy like to like, oh, like I really, ooh, I love it, sort of thing. So that I really enjoyed,
Yeah,
and that was probably one of the
and
best things
I
about the
do.
film was their chemistry.
Yeah, and I do also think the story is very strong because I like that it focuses on what happens after, like how she's dealing with all her emotions, all her thoughts, and the question: is revenge really worth it? Should she go through with it?
Mm.
Yeah, all this works in a very psychological way, in a very
Yeah.
good way. It makes you really think.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think one of the things that is common in a lot of indie films is the acting. It was very up and down, so I think some of the characters were really good and some other characters weren't as good. Um, yeah, it's for me it's almost always like that. But I think that overall it was pretty solid. It was just like some of the smaller characters were sometimes a little bit like both the dialogue and the acting. But overall it was very solid.
Yeah, it was. I was very positively and pleasantly surprised by this. But I had been
Absolutely.
very excited about watching this. So, because I've seen the progress from them filming it via Facebook on their page and to post production and to just watching the film. So thank you, Samuel, for sending us
Yeah,
the
thank you
screener.
so much. I think also one of the greatest things about the film was the music. I
Mm-hmm.
thought the music was absolutely fantastic. I thought it was perfectly put in like all scenes. Even in some of the scenes where maybe the acting wasn't so great, the music still like lifted it up and you know just held the film like to a very high standard.
Yeah,
Um,
it did add a lot to the story
yeah.
and the atmosphere, definitely. And also, I
Uh,
think some of the more intense scenes and some of the effects were very well made. Very well made.
yes.
And I
Yeah,
mean,
I
when you.
was like, how is it this well made? And then I saw that it was Marcus Koch, who's also 100 years, and he's a super famous and infamous in the underground horror scene. I mean, not only he does loads of stuff, but that's where he's like. But also, uh, I was surprised the film that they watched in the film, Terratomorph. I was like, "Ooh, what is this film by Joe Meredith?" And I've seen the cover before, and
Hmm.
I know what film it is, but I've not watched it. But since they showed like
Yeah, me
scenes from
neither.
it, I was like, "Oh, this looks really like right straight up my alley. I really need to watch it." And it made me think
Yeah,
like maybe
me
they
too.
should like promote more indie film in indie film, because
Yeah, like
then
this way is very good.
yeah.
It's a very good way, an effective way, because it made me want to watch the film.
Yeah, but I think also that like sometimes a lot of people use their own film in their film, so they'll put like an old of one of their films, and of course sometimes you can't find the rights to show anything,
Yeah.
so that's an issue. But I think that like helping your fellow filmmakers it's a great way to do it. Because now I'm like I need to buy it. Where is it? Like I need it now.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm very happy to watch the film, and overall, very, very good revenge film.
Yeah.
So,
Uh,
what do you
the
give it?
pink wig reminded me a lot of MFA, and I'm not sure if it was intentional or not.
Oh, we can
um,
probably ask Samuel.
yeah, but yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I give it a 7 out of 10.
We'll give it an 8 out of 10.
Woohoo!
Ta-dum.
Yeah, if you have the chance to watch it, please do. Yeah, it's a good film.
Yeah, so again, thank you, Samuel. Thank you so much.
Yes, and don't forget to stay horrific.
And bye.
Bye.